Hey there yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today for our yoga snack. So this particular class is really good for the whole body. We're going to target the shoulders, the back, upper, middle, lower, hips, a little bit of the hamstrings and inner thighs as well. So I do have one block for this practice. If you don't have a block, you can improvise with a really thick book or a rolled up towel will also help. When you're ready, let's begin. Coming on onto all fours into your tabletop position. There's slight modification here. Let's take the hands a little further in front and a little bit of freestyle here. So there's no right or wrong way for practicing this. I just want you to bring the body into a circular motion. So we'll inhale forward and exhale backwards. So you might find a little bit of a swivel there through the hips. You might like to change directions. Or of course, if you'd rather move through your traditional cat-cow stretches, you can do that as well. So we're just taking these next few moments to feel into the body, shoulders, back, hips, noticing any areas that are a little tight that might need some extra attention today. Now, if you need longer there, please take it. Otherwise, let's take those knees as wide as the mat now. Bring the big toes together. So we're going to transition back into our child's pose with a bit of a cat-cow stretch along the way. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, start to round the spine and begin to sit back towards the heels. Your next inhalation, look forward. Again, find your little back bend. And then exhale to round, look down toward your belly button. Press the back of the heart up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, looking forward, lifting the heart and the tailbone. Last time, let's exhale, round the spine and lower, if you can, forehead to the mat. Otherwise, you can always use your block or your towel. Let's keep the arms out in front, the elbows lifted and the palms lifted. So it's just your fingertips on the floor. Little active here through the shoulders. Gently draw the shoulders back towards your hips. Breathe. Feel the breath moving the body. Feel the back rise and expand as you inhale. Then find a moment to pause, to hold the breath before you exhale slowly, softening into the pose. Next inhalation, lift the head. Let's take a little side bend here. Walk your hands over to your left. You might like to place your right palm on top of the left and even lift your right armpit just a little. Breathe into the side body. And let's move over to the other side. Left palm on top of the right, little lift in the left armpit. And then coming back to center. Let's lift on up now. Then we're going to lower down into the forearms, coming into a forearm plank. So we want the elbows underneath the shoulders. Now you can lighten this pose by just having one knee on the mat. Otherwise, if you're able to, lifting up both knees. Now let's really round the upper back here. So I'm spreading my shoulder blades apart. I'm pressing the back of the heart up towards the ceiling. My tailbone is slightly tucking under. Jaw is remaining relaxed. And if you are looking for a little more heat, you can go for a little jog. Just alternate those knees, lightly tapping down to the mat. So it's just an option, working with your energy levels today. And when you're ready, let's come on down into your sphinx pose. So here I'd like you to take the feet a little bit wider and feel as though you're drawing the elbows back towards your ribs. Let's lift the chin a little and move the throat forward. Slow the breath down. You might like a very brief neck stretch here, dropping left ear towards the left shoulder. And then right ear towards the right shoulder. And coming back to center. Well done, yogis. And let's lower down. So we're going to move into our crocodile pose here. You can make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your palms, just allowing the heels to fall out wide. Maybe the big toes will come a little closer, maybe not, depends on your back. I'm going to count 3 breaths here. So we're going to practice Sama Vritti, which is our even breath. So when you inhale, I want you to feel your belly expand against the mat. And then we'll hold the breath, start to tone a little, and as you exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. You might even feel the hip bones move a little closer together. Option to engage Mula Bandha there as you exhale. So that's a little more tone, a little more of an upward internal lift. Ladies can lift pelvic floor, and the gents the perineum muscle. So that's just an option. And as we inhale, we soften, we relax, let the belly expand. So we're going to breathe to the count of 5. So we'll inhale 5, hold 5, exhale 5. If you're straining the breath at all, please ignore my count and just return to your natural breath. Or you might even like to reduce the count maybe to a count of 4. So when you're ready, let's begin. Let's breathe out together. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done, yogis. Let's lift up now, lifting up the upper body just a little, hands underneath your shoulders. Now here I want you to tuck your tailbone under. On your inhalation, lift your left leg only. Then as you hold your breath, lift the upper body up, try and drag the hands back. As you exhale, look over your shoulder towards your left foot. Then as you inhale back to center, exhale, lower down. Inhale, right leg lifts. Hold the breath, lift the upper body. Exhale, look over your shoulder towards the foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg up. Upper body lifts. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. Exhaling down. Inhale, right leg. Upper body lifts. Exhale, twist. Back to center. Lower down. One more. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Upper body lifts. Exhale, twist. Draw the hands back. Come back to center. Exhaling down. Right leg lifts. Inhale. Upper body lifts. Twist as you exhale. Inhale back to center. And lower down. Tailbone tucking under. Let's lift the legs and the chest now. Coming all the way up, drawing the hands back. And lower. Lifting up onto the knees into tabletop. Keeping the knees a little closer together this time for child's pose. Rounding the back and sitting back. Either taking the arms in front, or you can make a pillow with your hands, or maybe take the hands to prayer above the head. And let's lift on up, returning to your tabletop position. So spreading the fingers wide now, hands underneath the shoulders, a little bit of outer hip strengthening work. I want you to lift your left leg out to the side, flex the foot, and then we're going to lower that knee back down. You might just hover it above the mat. because we're going to lift again. And lower. I have heard this position called the fire hydrant. Very awkward feeling pose, that's for sure, but one that's really good for your outer hip and those glutes. It's very important in our practice that we find a balance between strengthening and stretching. This is your last one here. If you can, straighten out the leg. Then we'll move into our ITB stretch. Take the left leg over to the right, toes are tucking under. Look over your shoulder towards your heel. And then inhale, lifting up the left leg. Take it all the way out to the left now, toes pointing forward. Your left foot and your right knee are in a straight line. So from here, let's move through some cat-cow stretches. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze and the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine. One more. From here, walk your hands over to the right. So you're coming into your gate pose. Now, some of you might like to have the block underneath the right hand as we take the left arm overhead. Others will feel fine with that hand on the mat. So gently send the hips forward. Let's look down. Inhale. And as you exhale, take a seat. Sweep the arm in front of the body towards the foot. So you're just moving in a semicircle and inhaling to come back up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Holding this time as you come up for the inhalation. Once again, send those hips gently forward. Breathe into the side body. And then as you lower down this time, bring both hands back to the center. Sink the bottom back towards the heel, and now turn those left toes up towards the ceiling. So you're feeling a little sensation here through the hamstrings. And let's inhale and come back up to tabletop. You can ground that foot down, and if it's available for you, we'll thread the needle from here. Right arm underneath the left. You can always use your block underneath the head if you need to. Let's point left elbow up towards the ceiling. Option to take a mudra through your right hand, chin mudra. And gently firm that right arm down into the mat as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And let's inhale to come back up. Stepping your left leg in. Changing sides now, hands underneath the shoulders. Let's lift up the right leg out to the side and lower down. Last one, straighten the leg, flexing the foot. And then take it all the way over to the left side, pressing into the hands, the hip and the heel now, as you look over your shoulder. Let's take the right leg all the way over to the right side, toes pointing forward now, moving through your cat-cow stretches. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Only 2 more to go. And after you round the spine this time, moving into the gate pose, hands walking over to the left, right arm overhead if the shoulder's happy to go there. And you can always use your block if you need to. Gently send those hips forward. Inhale. And exhale. Let's sweep the arm in front of the body, lower down, take a seat. Inhale to come back up. Holding it up this time, staying in your gate pose, gently sending hips forward, and see if you can deepen the breath in the side body. Well done. Bring those hands back to center, sitting back onto the left heel now, pointing right toes up towards the ceiling. And coming all the way up, let's thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. And coming all the way back up, let's step that right foot in. So hands under shoulders now. Let's turn the eyes of the elbows to face forward, toes tucking under. Inhale, baby back bend. Exhale, round the spine, and keep that roundedness as you send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Look forward, exhale, step through. Low lunge, left knee to the mat. Let's bring the arms up. So a little bit of tone here. You don't just want to lunge there. Go down as low as you can and hang out on those poor hip joints. Let's bring the hips back a little. And then engage the buttock. Try and drag left knee forward, right heel back. So there's a little bit of tone around the hips and the lower back. Option 1, keep your arms up as they are. Option 2, if it's available for you, bring the hands down. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you straighten the arms, lifting the heart. From here, we'll move into our half pyramid pose. So if you've got your arms straight up, you can lower them down to the floor. If you've got your hands interlaced behind you, you might choose to keep them there. We're going to straighten the right leg as you move the hips back. Point the right toes up towards the ceiling and fold down over that leg. Well done. Release the hands, come forward into your lunge. Lifting right leg up, three-legged dog. Open up the hip, bend the knee, look under your armpit. Inhale. And then straighten the legs, square the hips as you exhale, pigeon pose. Right knee behind the right wrist. Lower your hips down to the mat. So this position's not always an option for everyone, depending on hips and knees and your mobility. If it's not an option, lean over to the right, bend your back leg, and push your heel forward. So left thigh, right shin, parallel to each other, and the short side of the mat. Make sure you've got a right angle through the backs of both legs, and then you'll fold down over that right leg, and you can use your block to support the head. Otherwise, you're in your standard pigeon pose. Back leg is straight. Heel might be a little closer to the groin. The further you move the heel away, the deeper the sensation you'll feel in your hips, but don't compromise the knee there. Be very mindful. Let's fold forward when you're ready. You might like to make a pillow with your hands, or maybe use your block. So I want you to steady the breath here, and I invite you to count your own breath. See if you can even it out for Sama Vritti. And let's inhale and lift up. Changing sides now, return to your downward facing dog. Lift up the left leg. Look forward, step through, low lunge. Either staying there or lower the hands down. Interlace the fingers, straightening the arms. Remember to gently draw that right knee forward now, left heel back. Be careful not to overstrain. See if you can deepen the breath. And if you can't, you've probably gone too far. Half pyramid pose when you're ready. Your variation, either hands to the floor or keeping those hands, fingers interlaced, knuckles up towards the ceiling. Try and drag that left heel back. Well done. Hands down. Three-legged dog. Option to stack the hip. Left hip on top of the right. Look under the armpit. And we'll straighten the legs, square the hips, pigeon pose, or your mermaid pose, option to bend the back leg, creating that right angle through both legs. Your own time, fall forward, reconnect with your breath. Next inhalation, start to lift up. Let's lean over to the left. Just bring your right leg around. We're going to recline from here, so feel free to bring your block or maybe your towel, whatever prop you've got, a little bit closer. And let's keep those knees bent. You can point the toes up towards the ceiling if you like, hands to the heart center, and rolling down slowly. A little bit of control, coming down onto your back. Once you've arrived onto the mat, we're moving into our supported bridge pose. So lifting up the bottom, and you might choose to place the block on the flat side underneath the tailbone, or you can take it up to the second height. Let's keep the knees bent. And if the shoulders permit, arms out to the side, cactus arms. You might even like to take chin mudra once again, connecting index finger and thumbs. And just observing the breath here in the front side of the body. Observing the navel rise and expand as you inhale. Softening towards the spine as you exhale. I'll count 3 even breaths here to the count of 5, same as the beginning of the class. Let's breathe out together. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done, yogis. Let's bring those arms back down by your side. Lifting up the heels and the hips together, remove your block and slowly come down 1 vertebrae at a time. When you touch down to the mat, lift up the feet, take the hands to the knees. Keep the arms straight and press the hands into the knees. Pull the knees back into the hands. Imprint your lower back onto the mat. Feel free to stay here, a little bit stronger if you lift the upper body off the mat, reaching your fingers to the back of the mat. And then if you want to go further, you can begin to alternate the legs. Next time the left knee comes in, hug it in, and then lower down. Keep a hold of the knee. Shift the hips about 1 centimetre to the left, and then we'll twist. Left knee over to the right. You can always use your block or your towel to support the knee. Just here for a few breaths. Try to relax the outer hips, the buttocks. Breathing into the lower belly and the lower back. And let's return to center. Draw the right knee in as you straighten the left leg. Taking the right knee over to the left. And witnessing the changing sensations in the body as you soften into the twist and gently deepen your breath to deepen the pose. In your own time, return to your back, and we'll take a few moments in Shavasana. Only here for a minute or two, but of course you can always stay longer. Tucking the shoulders under and letting the palms face the ceiling. Option to reconnect those fingers for Chin Mudra. Closing the eyes down. Softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. And just be in this spaciousness. Begin to inhale a little deeper now. Feeling the breath touch the nostrils. And those surrounding sounds meet the ears. Feel free to wiggle toes and fingers and follow any urges to move or stretch. And only when you're ready, rolling onto your preferred side. Taking as long as you like there, before pressing up to seated. Thanks for practicing with me today, yogis. I hope that you enjoyed that fairly gentle, not too dynamic, whole body practice. Wishing you a lovely day.